Welcome back to the Acoustic Arsenal. My name is Adam, and today we're going to talk about the dumb things that we do. Okay, when you go down this journey of acoustic guitars and you approach the fork in the road that is casual guitar player, happy with the guitar that you got, or completely insane and never gonna stop obsessing over this hobby, you have to make a choice. The wise people choose the casual, happy with what you got, and you just pick up that guitar once or twice a week and you play it and you have fun. And then there are those of us that go down this path, which is to say we are completely obsessed, want to know everything we can, and won't stop until we find perfection in whatever it is. Which, as we all know, perfection is a useless endeavor when it comes to reaching perfection, because there's no such thing. But that also means that it's going to be a journey, and that's really what it's about. It's about the journey, right? At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. This guitar started life as a Silvertone. I can't remember what model number. I had a hard time verifying because there was no serial number or inscription anywhere on the guitar when I bought it. I paid $100 for it. At the time I bought it, it was strung up. It had a tailpiece bridge. It played fine, but it had some loose braces. It was originally ladder braced, as you can see. I'll show you some close-ups. It was originally ladder braced. And I knew that in order for it to be playable, I was going to have to take the top off, and it was already separating. Basically all along this piece here, it was separated. And so I paid $100 for it, knowing that I was going to take it apart and try my hand at repairing. And there are a bunch of videos on YouTube that talk about using old harmonies or Stellas or Silvertones to really work on trying to repair and build your repair skills. So that's what I plan on doing. And so immediately I went ahead and took the top off and I sanded down. The top had already been sanded mostly, but as you can see, it started life as a sunburst, really dark sunburst kind of thing. These things were in the Sears catalog in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't know when they stopped doing it, but they were originally produced through the Sears catalog. So anyway, I took the top off, sanded everything down. I kind of halfway through decided I liked the weird little bit of sunburst left over because it kind of reminded me of the original guitar. And I used some dye that I bought from Crimson Guitars. Anyway, I X-braced it terribly. Now, if you've watched any build videos on guitars, you know that the people who are good at doing this make it look so easy. And I knew that it was not as easy as they made it look on their videos. But I wanted to do it anyway. And so I bought a kit for a bracing kit from StewMac. They sent me the Sitka spruce brace with the plan. So I put the braces on top. I did not have a go bar deck or anything like that, so I used kettlebells and other random things to try to clamp down the braces. It worked okay, but that was 3 years ago. I never shaped the braces. I never glued the top back on. So over that 3 years, naturally, the top is warped to some degree. It's not unrepairable, but I'm probably going to have to take all these braces off and do it again. Now, why do this? Well, because I'm stupid. But I have this idea in my brain that this channel is intended to lead me down the path to build acoustic guitars. I'm hoping that I can snowball whatever audience or group or whatever comes from this channel is going to help support me in my endeavor to build acoustic guitars in retirement. When I got this guitar, I hadn't decided that was what I wanted to do. Now, I've got about 10 years left in my current career, maybe 12, 15, depending on how things go. But I want to build some guitars over the next 10, 15 years so that whenever I hit retirement from my current career, I can roll right in and start producing custom acoustic guitars. So when I bought this, that was the plan, was to kind of, you know, try my hand at it, start working on it. And I knew it wasn't going to go really well, but I thought maybe it would turn out okay. Life happens. Down the road, here we are. It's still in 2 pieces. But since we're doing this channel, I figured now is as good a time as ever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the top. Probably going to have to re-glue some of these braces. I may just completely re-brace everything except the X-brace. I'm going to sand everything down again. Now that I know a little bit more, I'm going to probably take the bridge plate off and put a maple bridge plate on it. But sanded everything down. I've got some more tricks up my sleeve regarding finishing guitars. So I'm going to sand it down, refinish it. I'm probably going to put, at the very least, a new fretboard on it. Take the fretboard off, put a new one on it, and obviously put new frets in it. I might even replace the neck. It's unclear what I'm going to do yet. It doesn't really need a new neck in terms of straightness. It's pretty straight, you know, it's not warped. But it does not have a truss rod, it just has a steel rod in it. These things were billed as steel reinforced necks. But at the end of the day, it's solid wood. It's a birch top, birch sides and back. I've heard people have rescued these things and even just left the ladder bracing in and just, you know, tightened everything up, put new strings on it, put new fretboard, whatever, and they sound pretty good. It's an OM style guitar. I think it's a short scale, so really it's a triple O. But I think that there's something in this guitar that could be amazing. And it's never going to be perfect. It's got some cracks in it. It's warped. But I think that if I salvaged it and I tried to take my time and put some craftsmanship into it, that at the end of the day I could have a pretty neat old guitar. So that's what we're going to do. This is video 1, and I'm not going to commit to doing this consistently over the next month, but I am going to try to put together 4 or 5 videos of the process, and I'm going to show everything that I do, at least in time-lapse or images, and we're going to just rebuild it, see what happens. Because I think at the end of the day, I think if I do it well, it's not going to sound like a Martin, but it's probably going to have its own thing going on, and it might sound really cool. And if it does, it's a good story. And it's, if nothing else, it's good practice. And if you don't see video 2, 3, 4, 5 of this, then I'll come back with a report and say that it imploded and everything blew up, and I'll do a video of the top and the rest of the guitar in a fire pit. Because you never know what's going to happen. But I do know that if I do some tap tones, I can hear the distortion from the loose braces that have come loose because the top is warped, because it hasn't been humidified like the other guitars that I have. But there are some pieces of it in some spots it sounds really good. And those are the places where I've done better on the bracing. It's more secure. So anyway, this started life as a Silvertone triple O copy. Solid birch all the way around. I think that there's potential for there to be some really cool things come out of this guitar. Now, the first time I put the router on it to put some binding on it to make the edges a little better, the router might slip and it might just completely destroy it. It's kind of in a fragile state. You know, there's a crack here, a big crack here where I tried to take the top off unsuccessfully the first time. You never know. But you don't know till you try. And we're going to try. This is an acoustic channel. Subscribe to see the progress on this thing. Or, at the very least, if it doesn't go well, I will set it on fire. And I will burn it, and we'll at least get to see it burn and say goodbye to a failed experiment. But without failed experiments, there would be no successful experiments. So, like and subscribe to this video. Come back and check out what happens. This is going to be a fun thing. I want to take 1 second to say that I got this shirt from Jeremy the Guitar Hunter. I've been watching Jeremy's channel for a couple of years now, maybe even longer than that, and he does great stuff. His videos are so well done. He's really creative with his camera angles and his different shots and the things that he does. He buys and sells guitars. His thing is sharing great guitars with friends and making music with friends, because guitars change people's lives. I wouldn't be here on this channel without him and being inspired by the things that he's doing. So thanks for the shirt, Jeremy. Thanks for some of the advice and the chats. This is going to be fun. I hope this turns out well, because I'd like to play this guitar at some point again and see what happens. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching Adam's Acoustic Arsenal. Have a great day.